Hello, welcome back to the We Are City channel for FC 25 career mode. We currently are 10 points off league leaders Arsenal with 12 games in the Premier League to go, I think, or 13 games. The unlucky 13. Unlucky for some, hopefully it's lucky for City. I mean, you can see there we've drawn a lot more games and lost 2 more games than Arsenal. We've not won as many games as them. We drew to Brighton the last one, 6th place Brighton, which brought us back to 10 points behind them. In today's episode, we've got a game away at Villa Park against Aston Villa down in 8th place. Then we go, I think we've got Newcastle as well in today's game, which is today's episode, which is it's a difficult one because Newcastle are in 4th. They're a really good side. They're on 45 points. They're going to be played as well. We're going to simulate the game against MK Dons in the Emirates FA Cup because I don't want to play that one. I think we'll go through, and then we'll play a Champions League game against Benfica at home. They're the next team we face after just scraping through against PSV Eindhoven. This is signed for Villa today. Unfortunately, a player that we've said is our starting right-hand side player, Oscar Bob, is tired today, so he's not in the squad, and he's not the only one who's tired, because in fact, so is Ryan McCady, so he misses out on the side today. This is the City starting 11. Kostringle, now 92 rated, by the way. It's Frimpong, Araujo, Vardiel, and Camavinga at the back four. Savinho in the middle, or on the right-hand side, Doku on the left, and then it's Foden, Simons supporting Haaland up top, Rodri the captain. No Marmoush on the bench, no Edison, no Nico either. Those three a little bit unhappy with game time at the moment. Marmoush think unhappy with performance. Edison and Nico unhappy with the amount of games they play. Well, I thought we were away at Villa Park. We're not at home at the Etihad, so that makes it a little bit easier, I think, with our home fans behind us. You perhaps feel like there's more chance of getting a win in this one for Manchester City. Away to Newcastle St James's Park in today's episode. We've got Benfica as well, so big games throughout all the episodes now as we approach the final stage of the season. We're approaching a big moment, aren't we, where we're in all competitions, but within a matter of episodes, or in one episode, we could go out the FA Cup, we could go out the Premier League title race completely, we could go out the Champions League, and even lose the Carabao Cup final as well. So lots of things happening at the moment. Let's see how Aston Villa line up today. They're doing well. They're in 8th place, not as well as they want to do, but they've got a strong side. I mean, Born-out and Torres looks like it's the back line. Still, they have the likes of Morgan Rogers and Ollie Watkins up top. So this is Unai Emery's Aston Villa side, starting with a goalkeeper. It is Emilio Martinez. In the back four, it's Villanova, Torres, Bornau and Matson, Barrenechea and Onana in the midfield too, with Rogers, Bailey and Gakpo supporting Ollie Watkins up top. Morgan Rogers, the man to look out for. Camavinga has been very poor in recent weeks, and I'm considering dropping him for Cambiasso. No problem. Or Nico O'Reilly's Vardiel reads that one. Good play. Oh, no way! How is that a foul? Vardiel gets there ahead of Watkins. The referee gives a free kick their way. From a Liverpool man, Gakpo steps up here, and it's just over the bar. Oh, I didn't pass there, but you've done it anyway. And how many times does the game do that? Just pass it where I don't want it to go. Watkins away from Vardiel. Now with Araujo. Watkins hits one from range here off the crossbar. And away by Joško Vardiel. What a chance. Back to Xavi. Xavi. Into a running Erling Haaland here. Haaland to the box. Phil Foden arriving! 1-0 Manchester City. And it's Phil Foden with a goal. And City take the lead over Villa. And that's a better start to today's episode than the last one. Haaland in. Foden arriving. He dug it out there, Erling Haaland, from the ground. I mean, Haaland's not scoring the goals, but he's actually getting quite a few assists. And he gets another one there for Phil Foden. He gives City a 1-0 lead here. Come on. Can we get this season going? No. Oh, I get so excited. And then the goalkeeper does that. 92 rated goalkeeper's just done that. Push it straight onto Watkins, 1-1. You get excited, you think something could happen here. This could be the start of our season. Savinho. Simons. Far post. Foden on the volley! Oh! What a goal, Phil. You've got to score that. What a ball by Simons there. I don't feel the warmth with it. All through to Watkins here. Saved by Costa. Back out towards Bailey. Too easy. Back to Watkins. Drags it wide. They've had a bit of chances. We've after that goal we were quite good, and then since then we've been pretty sloppy. Rodri. Camavinga. Haaland. Gives it away. Xavi Simons with the foot in. Rogers. Well, surely Watkins scores one of these chances. This is the one. 2-1 Villa. been coming. Rodri. Through to Foden, referee! Come on. The game is doing everything here to put me in a bad position. It really is. There we go. Arachea. Blocked by Vardiel, but where's the support? Not there. And the ball in behind here to Gakpo. And across to Ollie Watkins for the hat-trick, 3-1 Villa. And that's a hat-trick for Watkins, and that is City's title race run. That is the title race over. In with the signs we've made and what we've done in the transfer market. Has to make the save. Gakpo into the side netting. I don't think Costa's been particularly good as well, the goalkeeper. Through to Haaland onside. Haaland straight at Martinez. Good save by the keeper. Frimpong. Haaland. Haaland shoots. Haaland scores 3-2. Come on. I'm thinking Omar Mamouche as well here for Xavi Simons. Ederson. Runs through here. Ederson, good feet. Frimpong on. Handball, referee. It's a penalty. It would be. Should be. Rodri in. Vardiel for the header away. Mamouche back out. Rodri. Crossed in. Vardiel in there. Away again. Ederson back out. Mamouche. Rodri. Mamouche onside. Pulls it back. Haaland hits it. Save by Martinez. That was the chance. That was it. Defeat for City to start this one. 3-2 Aston Villa. And that is the Premier League title race over. I don't think there's any point even playing the Newcastle away games. There's no point even worrying about the Premier League now because we're out of the title race. I'm sure Arsenal win. And I'm sure that is the race run. And it's so frustrating. We've been so bad in the league this season. We're now 13 points off the league leaders, Arsenal. Not us, not anyone are anywhere near that Arsenal side. And congratulations to Mikel Arteta, who's doing a really good job. We will play that game against Newcastle United still away from home because we're only 2 points ahead now of third place Spurs. And making sure we get a top 4 finish and making sure we finish second in the league is now the most important aim for our season in the league. But we're still at the Champions League, we've still got the Carabao Cup, we've still got the FA Cup to play for. This is time for Newcastle United today for some big news. Erling Haaland dropped to the bench. Mamouche starts up top with Ederson and Foden in support. Savinho and Bob in the wide areas with Rodri in the middle. Bob's stamina is a big issue for him. If he had better stamina, he'd start every game that right side for us. Cambias on the right, Nico Ryan on the left. It's Kusanov and Vardiel in front of Costa, the goalkeeper. We've got Araujo, Frimpong, Water, Nico, Simons, Doku, Haaland and Oskarsson on the bench. So St James's Park, a rocking atmosphere. Manchester City here to try and get a top 4 finish this season, just like Newcastle. The title race looks like it's run for this team. 13 points off league leaders Arsenal. The pressure is off City now. It's Pep Guardiola's side, limp over the finish line in the final 12 games of the Premier League season or so. Disappointed that they're not closer to that Arsenal team. This Newcastle side would heavily be invested in, and we'll see that from the starting 11, with the likes of Ryan Cherki, Gary, and Anthony Gordon, some of the best young players in Europe, all playing for this Newcastle United side, who are fighting for top 4 finish, currently in 5th. The space around Kusanov back in there alongside Vardiel today. That's every game, that left-hand side pretty much. And what a ball in here. So Anthony Gordon, great save by the keeper into their hands. Out towards Ederson. And towards Mamouche and giving away towards Tonali. Ball by Mamouche. Isak turns. Ball in behind again here. Ryan Cherki, what a pass, and Newcastle have the lead through Joe Willock. This is a dismal play from abysmal play. 1-0 Newcastle, Joe Willock scores. Where do we go with this team? Isak with a chance here. Kusanov away. I mean, the rebuild went pretty well last year. Oh, good play there. Ah, but look at that! Terrible. Mamouche through to Foden here. Foden is in. Foden with chance, 1-1. I was initially so frustrated with that pass not going to Oscar Bob. Foden goes and scores anyway. He's getting quite a lot of goals for himself at the moment. Mamouche the creator. Foden the finisher. 1-1 at St James's Park away from Manu Akanji. But there's certainly a lot to be learnt in this City side. You can't be the most amazing team forever. We knew that the treble is the pinnacle of our club's history, maybe. Don't think it's ever going to get better than that. Isak puts one wide. Don't think it's ever going to get better than that, but we want to try and replicate it. Bob. And that is the problem, isn't it? Those 2-yard passes we can't play. Have to be... We can't play simple passes. We can't play difficult passes. You start to ask, what am I doing here? And Newcastle score from that. So we should score from that opportunity there. Oscar Bob can't play it just 1 yard next to him because the game doesn't let you. And Newcastle pouncing at you on the counter and score. It's the same thing time and time again. And it happens every time. And you start to lose faith in the game completely. You want to think, why am I playing this game? Ah! Isak just runs away. Saved by Costa. Oscar Bob. Edison's made a bit of space for himself on his far side. Edison. Across the box to Marmoush, who slides in away. Cambiasso. Foden. Edison. Down. Marmoush with a shot. Blocked away and behind for a corner. Marmoush doesn't make the run. Marmoush onto Savinho, away from Akanji. Savinho, away from Akanji. Savinho! 2-2. Good finish by the Brazilian, who still hasn't had enough goals to his game, I don't think. Been a difficult season. But well played, Savinho. And he hits that one into the top corner. Haaland. Haaland behind here. Bobby's there. Bobby behind to Frimpong here. Someone attack the far post, they don't. Somebody attack the far post! That is not me, that's the game. Somebody attack the bloody far post. Good bloke. Why is no one at the far post to be score there? Not one player's running in the box. What can I do about that? I'm spamming L1 saying run, run. Everybody run in the box and no one's doing it. If someone runs to the far post there, we score and win the game. And Oscar Bob's running as well here. And he's onside Oscar Bob here. He's up against Aitnieri. Bob past Aitnieri. Bob across to Savinho. Brilliantly done. Savinho. Back to Oscar Bob. It's blocked by Akanji. Cambiasso was there. Manny Akanji, what a block. Cross him. Over everyone. Edison. Foden! Oh, what a hit by Phil Foden. Who's finding his form now. 3-2, come on. Phil Foden with a big goal. Absolutely rifles it into the top corner there, Phil Foden. The sniper, they call him in training. Hence his sniper celebration. Well, back heel Edison and Foden pulls it as far as he can into the corner. Hits it so well. Cross the goalkeeper with power. No messing about. 3-2 Manchester City are in front of St James's Park. Haaland across to Savinho. Savinho. Haaland takes it! Haaland scores! 4-2. City beat Newcastle at St James's Park. Haaland scores, which feels pretty rare. Can this be the start of something? I don't know. But I think Edison in there played very well today. Edison and Bob have worked well together. Savinho's been great off the left. Foden's been good as well. I think we're starting to figure out our best team. And I don't think Omar Marmoush is in it. What a strange touch by Haaland. But what a finish on the rebound as it comes off his heel. 4-2 City at St James's Park. I wish we could have done that against Newcastle. Full-time whistle. Should be going pretty soon. It does go. 4-2. 3 points. We're inconsistent. But sometimes we find in what we want to. We're out of title race. Surely. But if Arsenal slip up, hopefully, if we keep winning, we can do that. Well, next Manchester City faced MK Dons at home in the Emirates FA Cup. A heavily rotated side came away with a 3-2 win. Oskarsson with 2 and Ryan McCady with a winner in the 71st minute means Manchester City are into the next round of the Emirates FA Cup. Well, this is how the Champions League round of 16 draw is looking. Ajax draw Sporting. We have drawn Benfica. Milan face Leipzig. Roma face Atletico Madrid. Inter versus Barca. PSG versus Chelsea. Leverkusen versus Betis. And Arsenal versus Villarreal. And some games have already been played in this side. 1-1 between Inter and Barcelona. PSG 2-1 down to Chelsea. Leverkusen Betis at 1-1. And also Villarreal trail Arsenal by 4-5 after the first leg. What a game that was. But we face Benfica at home today. And this is the side we're going to go with. Costa starts and goal. It's Frimpong, Cristiano Vardiel and Cambiasso, the back four. Bob, Edison, Captain Rodri, Foden and Savinho, the midfield four. Erling Haaland starts up top. We've got Araujo, Camavinga, Wharton, Nico, Xavi, Marmoush, Doku and Oskarsson on the bench. And it is Araujo's return to Benfica since he's moved to Manchester City. A former Benfica player in there as well for us was Ruben Diaz. He's gone. Bernardo's gone as well. We do have former Porto player Diogo Costa in goal. He won't be so popular. Manchester City versus Benfica here in the Champions League. They come to the Etihad, and there is one very special player in this Benfica side that Pep Guardiola is so excited to face off against once again, and that is the man who captains Benfica today. The man who leads out the side from Portugal, that is former Manchester City superstar, legend of the club, hard working on the pitch, a leader, putting some amazing performances year after year to get City to level the art as a team. We've dropped off in recent years. He's a player that left us in the rebuild, and that is, of course, Benfica captain Bernardo Silva. He is starting for them today. And there is also former Man United man who returns to the team in Victor Lindelof as well. Let's see how Benfica do line up to take on Manchester City at the Etihad today in this first leg, the Champions League round of 16. This is the Benfica side to take us on today, and they've got some really good players in there, captained by Bernardo Silva. So Trubin starts in goal. It is Bar and the Carcareas in the fullback areas. Captain Silva in there as well with another Silva in the midfield. Pavlidis starts up top. A Turks on that left-hand side. A good team, but it's one that shouldn't be knocking us out of the Champions League. But PSV nearly did, so you never know with this City side. Alvaro. Around the corner. That's a nice pass by Turkoglu. Another ball in behind us. Turkoglu here. Costa comes. Frimpong's there. Oh, mistake at the back. Costa claims it anyway. I don't know what he was doing there, Costa. Ederson. Bob. Nice feet by Bob. Foden's created space for himself here. Foden. Foden. Haaland in the middle for a tap-in. 1-0 City. Foden finds Haaland. Phil Foden playing really well at the moment. Ahead of Xavi Simons for a reason. And we have the lead here. Good play. Ederson finds Foden. He's having a good game at the moment. Ederson as well. It's in a bit of good form. Haaland's it right down the middle with power. Trubin nearly keeps that out, which would have worried me if he did. Haaland scores. He's not as prolific as he has been in previous years. He's having a big dip at the moment. Back heel. Sanov, really well read, but the pass wasn't. Oh, Vardy, what's he doing? What is that, EA? I want him to clear it and he dives in. That's EA Sports for you. Let's make it more interesting. Let's get Benfica a goal. And there you are. Well done. You've gifted Benfica a goal. Brilliant. Why don't you just clear it like I asked him to? No. Savinho. Foden's in. Foden's in again here. It's Phil Foden. It's 2-1. And he's right bang on form at the moment, Phil Foden. He's scoring, he's assisting, he's getting involved in everything. He's keeping Xavi Simons and mainly Omar Mamouche out the side. I think probably Foden and Mamouche can share that role in behind the striker at the moment. Foden's the more prolific of the two. And he's done it again. Oh, Oscar Bob very tired. I mean, his stamina's terrible. Over top to Haaland. In the middle, Haaland. Far post, Oscar Bob is there and headed away. Difficult one, really. If it was the other way around, might have a chance of winning the header. Half-time, we lead by 2-1, but it should be more. I'm very annoyed about that Benfica goal. Clean sheets have been very hard to find in this second half of the season. Foden. Ederson. Frimpong. He's off here. Frimpong still going. Frimpong. Haaland! Oh! Defender slipped and still managed to keep the ball away from Erling Haaland. Mamouche. Haaland, well played. Foden. Great play by Foden. Mamouche. Into the box here. Haaland's waiting! 3-1. Haaland scores. 3-1 Manchester City. An assist for Mamouche. A pre-assist for Phil Foden. And a goal for Erling Haaland makes it 3-1. Good play into that channel by Mamouche. Fires it across to Erling Haaland, who makes it 3-1 Manchester City. And we're going to make more changes here. And that's going to be Ederson off for Xavi Simons. Nico Camp. Well played into Cambiasso. Wharton. Mamouche in a bit of space. Onto Haaland. Lets it run. Haaland's in for that trick here. Haaland beats Bar. Haaland down the middle. Savinho! 4-1 Manchester City. Well, I tried to just hammer it with Haaland. I didn't try and place it since placement hasn't worked recently. 4-1 I think is us going through to the quarter-final of the Champions League. I'm confident this side has got enough to do it in the second leg via a simulation. Savinho here, interesting finish, goes across Trubin. You expect him to go to the near post. It's a great finish by Savinho, 4-1. He's scoring quite a few at the moment as well, getting assists. Big challenge on him. Wharton slams into the path of Xavi Simons. Then to Haaland, who's got space here, and Haaland's away. And Haaland is in. And Erling Haaland for 5-1. A hat-trick in the Champions League. And that is us going through to the quarterfinals there. They will not be beating us at the Estadio... I can't remember what it's called on the Benfica Stadium anyway. They will not be beating us there. Haaland scores his hat-trick. City win by 5-1. And we're through in the Champions League without a doubt. City 5, Benfica 1. We can rotate in the second leg. We can lose 3-0 for all I care. Oh, no. Or can we? Pavlidis, good save by Costa. And kept in by Cambiasso. Well played, Diogo Costa. Knock it between these two. Back towards Cassano. Full-time whistle goes. We end the episode scoring goals and playing exciting football. A 5-1 win in the Champions League. Haaland picking up his goal tally in the Champions League as well. A hat-trick today. Thank you for watching. Please like the video if you haven't already. Please do subscribe to the channel if you are new. All 4 trophies are still on in this series. Are still on in this season. And by some miracle, we might just do it. You've got to stay tuned. Consider joining the BSD Members Club to find out early what we are doing. And we'll see you guys next time.